My dear, dear Rezel. Look, today is Sunday again, but unfortunately one hardly notices it here. How wonderful it was last year when I was at your home. On such beautiful days, we would go for our walks. It was always quite lovely. Just thinking about the lovely walk we took on our last holiday in Zanderschat and our little birch forest. Do you remember how we sat in the grass and the spring sun was already so warm? How beautiful that time was. I remember it often, and with love and joy. How much I long for that time. There is nothing more beautiful than being at your home, where there is peace and quiet. Today I listened to the chess concert on the radio, and just now the program for the Wehrmacht. These are my little indulgences for relaxation. The song Bells of the Homeland came again at the end. That's when they now speak of you. I immediately thought of you. You must also think a lot about me during this time, I thought. Did you go for a walk? Rezel, my dear, my heart's dear, I wanted to write something to you today. I had firmly planned to, but unfortunately, I have forgotten it at the moment. I'm sure I'll remember it again. Rezel, girl, things are getting progressively worse here in every respect. I am anxious to see if something happens soon, but in any case, I am keeping my head up. You know me and know how I am. Rezel, my dear, good angel, I suffer the most under these poor conditions. I know for certain it's not because of you, but there's a feeling inside me that's indescribable. One is cut off from home, not knowing what is happening at home, and is even more worried than usual. Girl, I know you feel the same way. I keep telling myself, hopefully, you are getting my letters more or less regularly, so that you are somewhat reassured. I also know that I keep coming back to this, but I believe it's not unchanged. I just worry a lot, which is quite understandable. Rezel, girl, how are things with the summer holidays this year? Have they already started? What about the trip to Neuheim? Is Mum already there? Make sure you take good care of yourself when you leave. Considering the air situation, it's always best at home. You know, do what is necessary. For today, I send my warm regards. Your ever-loving Niel. My dear, dear Rezel girl, it's wonderfully warm here. Warm is not the right word for it. It's more appropriate to say hot. In the afternoons, it reaches about 60 degrees, and the nights are beautifully lukewarm, true summer nights. The only way to cope with the daytime heat is to bathe and bathe again. Fortunately, we can do that here as the Isar is nearby. It is a fresh mountain river which provides some relief. As for cool drinks, they are not particularly well catered for. Rezel, my dear good sweetheart, my thoughts are so often with you. I always think about how wonderful it would be if we could experience such a summer together in peace. I would like to go swimming with you. Perhaps you know a place where we could enjoy a lovely evening walk. That would be quite marvelous. In such moments, I always tell myself again that this war won't last forever, and then such days may come for us too. Let's hope they are not far off. We have often talked about this. Rezel, girl, I'm sorry that what I'm writing now seems like a recurring theme through my letters. Today there was mail for the first time in a long time, but unfortunately, I was left empty-handed. It's a terrible feeling to receive nothing. I always tell my people that when I get mail, a whole sack will come just for me alone. I hope it will be soon. Greetings from your ever-loving Niel. My dear Rezel, girl, I arrived here yesterday, although we had already set off from Allersheim on Friday afternoon. The journey was quite arduous with all these crates, and I was relieved when I reached my destination. You cannot imagine. You might wonder why we left already on the 10th, but I had several reasons for it. The main reason, however, was that Kusel was hit by a bullet on the 6th during the journey from Ausbad to Steinach. I am telling you this because it affects us all greatly. Today, I unfortunately have to leave because of this. Whether it's important or not depends on the reports. It's obviously clear that I did something good for him and the others. Because the way things really are, it must never happen again. Otherwise, we are all lost, and you most of all. You can imagine that we are not taking the matter lightly, and I am quietly pondering it. I assume that the department won't make a big deal out of it, but it serves as a warning to me. But you shouldn't worry unnecessarily now. We will be lucky. I just want to report it to you right away so that you are in the picture. In any case, I want to show you how things are and that I am always exactly where it matters. So don't worry, it will be all right. Dear Rosal, during my journey to Allersheim, I witnessed something that will surely interest you. When I was in Gunzenhausen, I sat quietly in a compartment car in a dark corner. Then the door was opened and a man came in, who then talked very familiarly with the conductor through the window. What if Elizabeth had known that I was sitting in the corner next door? You see how it often goes. Girl, I was lucky in this respect this time. When I was on my way back, I had another. I go to the court hall to inquire about the body. Who do I meet there? Martha. I then have a conversation with her. She is also on war duty. You can tell by her slender uniform. As she told me, she had all sorts of bizarre experiences through an acquaintance. Otherwise, the journey went as expected. When I arrived here, they were surprised because they had expected me only on the 15th or 16th of June. Our boss is already away and won't be back until the 23rd of December. If not much comes of it at first, then that's fine. The small battery unit was at different locations in the meantime. But they've been back here for a few days now, so I could move into my old digs right away. It's good, so you can write to me at the old private address right away. Dear Rosal, those were wonderful days we spent together. We will have to live on those memories for a long time. You know best how infinitely happy I am when I can be at home with you. Then, everything else is forgotten for me. Let's both wish fervently that it won't be too long until we are together forever. Girl, write back to me soon. Your ever-loving Niel.